Hello from the Dukascopy TV studio in Geneva. I'm Daniel Schwenger. Alongside me to discuss the question, the Greek exit of the eurozone, is Frank Hollenbeck. He is Professor of Finance at the International University in Geneva. Mr. Hollenbeck, welcome to the studio.
Always good to be here.
So when it comes to Greece and the eurozone, you warned that we should hold our heads because there are turbulent times for the eurozone because of a possible Greek exit. And so if the picture would really change with a new government in Greece by the Syriza party, would a Greek government led by the Greek Syriza party really be able to leave the euro?
Well, about a year ago, I did an interview and I said you should keep a watch out for Greece because it could still create a financial turbulence in Europe. Okay, I basically said is that you can't expect the Greeks to be debt slaves forever. Okay, and it is true there's a lot of talk right now about forcing Greece out of the euro, but in reality there is no structure that would actually force them out of the euro, in the sense that Greece at the moment is running a primary surplus. So if it was to default on a large part of the debt that it owes to EU institutions, there's really nothing that would force it to actually leave the euro. And we know for a fact that the Greek people want to stay in the euro. So, and the leader of the Syriza party has also said that he wants to stay in the euro. So for me, a lot of this talk is just fear tactics to basically sacrifice security to sacrifice a little bit of freedom for a little bit of security.
Mm-hmm. So what would be your projection then? So is the eurozone ready?
My projection is that first we have to realize that Syriza, if Syriza becomes the new government, they've indicated they want to renegotiate the loan terms. And in reality, at the moment, Greece owes about 300 billion euros, of which about 200 billion is to EU institutions. The rest is either to the IMF, the ECB, or to private creditors. Now, if Greece was to default, it would be primarily on this EU debt. Okay. Now, if it was to default, then what it means is that the guarantees, okay, would then kick in. Okay. And we have to remember that France, Italy, and Spain have guaranteed about 50% of these a little over 200 billion that's been given to Greece. Okay. Now, if that would imply a significant increase in the debt levels of these countries. Now, for Italy, which has a debt to GDP ratio of 130% and basically no growth for the last several decades, for me, that would be the tipping point. Okay, and then we'd have a European financial crisis. Okay, and we have to remember that Italy is too big to bail out. Okay, so bail-ins and bank runs would become a high probability, and then what would likely happen is there would be pressure on the ECB to monetize the debt. And when that happens, then we're going to have a clash between the southern countries, including France and Germany, on what is the appropriate role of monetary policy.
So you disagree, so Europe won't be ready for a default of...
Well, I think what will happen is ultimately they'll just do what they've always done, which is kick the can down the road. Okay, we know that EU leaders have very little backbone. Okay, in the sense that what will happen is they'll reach some type of agreement where they will give Greece, interest and principal on a promise of token reform. Okay, but this is a violation of one of the most important principles in finance, which is you don't throw good money after bad. The only thing we're doing is postponing the inevitable, which means even a bigger crash in the future.
So what measures can the ECB still take?
Well, the ECB is in a situation where it's going to be kind of a spectator at the moment. It's going to have to react. We'll see what happens after the 25th. We'll see if Greece puts in a left-wing government that puts into questions all the reforms that have been put in place in the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Professor Frank Hollenbeck from the International University in Geneva, thank you very much for being our guest today.
Glad to be here.
And thanks for watching. Do make sure to keep clicking back on the Dukascopy TV website for latest updates and exclusive interviews. Have a great day and see you next time.